Ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube citizens, this is another Call of Duty commentary video, but this one is Black Ops 3. Yes, I played the beta on the PS4, and first of all, let me tell y'all exactly who this is. This is your boy, that's Tru Inferno. First and foremost, the beta was out cold. Now, there was a little bit of a hiccup this past Sunday because the servers was laggy as heck, and it was crazy, but they fixed it as the day went on. But outside of that, the beta was nice. You know, I had a little bit of a hard time when I first played the beta, but the more I played it, the more I got into it, and the more I was beasting and feasting. So I like the beta. And now I'm about to play the Xbox One version. Yes. So I got the beta for both systems. Obviously the PS4 version is done. Xbox One just got started sometime last night. There was an issue with the beta codes, but they gotten past that. So yeah, there you go with that. Second thing out the way that I want to get into rather is this. Yes, you are hearing the beat right now. Gaku ni Okureru, which translates to late for school. The first single off of my upcoming beat album, the Kyoto Hour Volume 3 Rising Sun. You're listening right now. You can click at the box at the end of this video to listen to the full song. And then of course the album comes out November 13th. TruInferno.bandcamp.com is the place to be to pick that joint up. It will only cost you $2 to pick it up. So yes, you need to pick that joint up. Alright, so with that out the way, let me get into today's topic. And this is a topic I've been meaning to get into for quite a while now. And because this one annoys me a little bit. And today's topic is about why people hate pre-ordering games. Let's get into it, because the thing that would trip me out is, and this is the part about this whole thing that would trip me out the most. People will not pre-order the game, but as soon as the game comes out, they'll walk in and buy it. I'm like, what? And people would purposely say, man, I'd rather just walk in and buy it than pre-order it. And like, no, they'll say they're walking and buy it day one, they pre-order. I'm like, that makes no damn sense. Like, what? Like, I never understood that. Like, why would you pay $63.59 up front for just a game, that's it, where you can treat it like labor and get extra stuff along with the game for the same price? It never made sense. Especially if you go pick it up on the same day, whether you pre-order it or not. Like, you know, if you were planning on picking it up on the same day, which is the day when it first comes out, whether you pre-order it or not, I'm like, it makes no sense. I don't get it. You know, I never get it. Now, there are some people who are against pre-ordering now, and they have a very good reason why. And let me get to one of those reasons. One of the reasons why people don't like pre-ordering is because, in the past, when I was working at GameStop, one of the things that GameStop will pressure you on is the number of reserves you can get and the number of Game Informer subscriptions you could get. Now with the reserves, that was easy for me back in the day. You know, my sales pitch was, if you don't want to wait for this game even after it comes out, you need to reserve it. So when the game come out, boom, your copy's back there. Because if you come in, we may sell out. And that happened from time to time back in the day. So yeah, it was smart to pre-order so you can get a copy. Whether that game came with a pre-order bonus or not, at least you will get a copy of the game that you want. Nowadays, nowadays they just overship. And it is annoying to say. Honestly, I don't, work at GameStop no more. But still though, they just overship, and it's like, what's the point? Unless it comes with a pre-order bonus. Like, what's the point? So that's one thing. Another thing that some people don't like about the pre-order thing is, and this one I don't like either. When you pre-order, when you reserve a game and it comes with that pre-order bonus, like, for example, like, let me give you the perfect example. Let me look at this online. Because there was one that was a really good example of this, that I want to get into right here. Okay, Halo 5. Like, for example, when you pre-order Halo 5 Guardians, you would get a poster. Now, I could care less about a poster. Like, this was a few years back. Depending on what the poster is, I might be interested. But nowadays, I'm like, screw that noise. But you would get extra stuff along with the poster, depending on which store you go to. So if you go to GameStop, you would get this, this, and this. If you go to Amazon, you would get that, and that. If you go to Best Buy, you would get that, and that. If you go to Microsoft, you get this, this, and this. If you go to Walmart, you get this, this, and this. If you go to Xbox Live, you get this, this, and this. The PSN store is this, this, and this. And everything is different from one another. Excuse me. And yeah, I can understand people's frustrations, especially with the Batman game. Let me find the one about the latest Batman game, which was Arkham Knight. Yeah, that's it. And I think here it is. The Arkham Knight pre-order bonus. So, I mean, first of all, the game was amazing. So let's take a look at the pre-order bonuses. Now, if you would have pre-ordered this game from GameStop, you would have got two story modes. I mean, two extra story not story modes, but two extra playable stories. One of them based off of Harley Quinn. The other is based off of what's his name, the Red Hood, I think. You know, so there's that. That's like yeah, the Red Hood story pack. That was at GameStop. If you go to Best Buy, you would have the Harley Quinn story pack, and you would get an Alco Batmobile. But if you went to I mean that's not Best Buy, that's Walmart. Excuse me. If you would have went to Best Buy, you would have got 4 additional in-game moves. You know, like the explosive jail takedown, aerial juggle, batarang, while gliding, and weapon upgrade. Then you would got it being if you went to Steam, you would get costume skins. So you would have got the Dark Knight Return costume and the Batman Beyond skin, which kind of looked like the Arkham Knight skin. That one look out cold. I will admit that one looked out cold. So and it's like, and then because if you want them all, you would have to get the DLC, which comes with all of that and extra stories. And they're supposed to come out with content, like a lot of more content, so for whatnot, and blah blah blah. And I can understand how people hate that because it's like I have to, worry about a certain thing and it's not available at my location or whatever. I can understand that. That's dumb. Yeah, that is dumb as heck. I get you with that one. Another thing that people don't like about pre-ordering, and this is another thing that I can agree with, is they could just wait for the Game of the Year version to come out, which would cost the same price as the original game when it first came out, and will have all the DLC in it. Like for example, Batman Arkham Asylum. I got the Game of the Year edition years later because first of all, I was really into Arkham Asylum back then. Believe it or not, I crap you not. Don't hate me. When I say that, people would be like, "Are you crazy?" But yeah, this was actually true. Excuse me. I was really not into the Arkham Knight series when Arkham Knight series, the Arkham series when Arkham Asylum first came out. It was because of that I got Arkham City, and I'm like, that's the best one ever. Even though I have yet to play Arkham Asylum, even though I got 2 copies of it, one of them the Game of the Year buzz, the other one to download it for free on my PlayStation store or whatever. But still though, again, years later, I just happened to stumble upon the Game of the Year edition. We have the original game and whatever DLC content that there is. So yeah, I can understand that because like, what's the point of buying the game and the DLC separately when they just gonna combine them into a Game of the Year edition and be cheaper that way than buying the game when it first came out and the DLC? Like, yeah, that makes no sense. Now, and that's where the agreement stops right there. Now, one thing that people don't like about the pre-order bonus is it is some theory that they have that when these developer comes out with a game, now you gotta picture this. They'll complete 100% of the game. They'll cut it up in half. So 50% that they cut up, they will release to the general public and say, hey, the game is out now. The other 50% of the game, they will split that up into 5 pieces. So each piece is now 55%. Yeah. No, not 5. 10%. And they give 10% of that to Best Buy, say that's a pre-order bonus. The other 10% will go to Walmart, that's their pre-order bonus. The other 10% go to GameStop, that's their so forth and whatnot. And then they'll say if you want the whole DLC package, you have to pay blah blah blah. And their mindset is that we being cheated because they're offering us 50% of the game for the full price of a full game. And there's no proof behind this. Like I looked up some of these games in the past and that's coming out this year. Like I said with the Halo 5, it's mostly multiplayer weapons. That's it. Forza Motorsport vehicles. That's it. The sports games. I mean, obviously, it's a sports game, so you can't split that up in half. And and you should pre-order the sports game because you get that extra virtual currency, and you can't go wrong with extra virtual currency. You can't go wrong with that. Gears of War, the Ultimate Edition, rather, multiplayer skins. Okay, moving on. Mass Effect 3, which was a game that came out in the past. I saw nothing but weapons and store credit. That was it. And then of course, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I looked that mug up online, and when you pre-order that, you get a story mode. I mean, 2 additional playable stories that don't involve the main character. And then I'll get more on that in a second. And then the one game that somebody mentioned on a Game Fact forum were Aliens Colonial Marines. And for the record, I never played that game, but I heard that game was terrible. So I don't know why you would even want to get that game. But the pre-order DLC for that was 4 playable movie characters, additional marine customization, and a flamethrower. That's it. I'm like, where's this whole 50% fiasco? I didn't see it. Now, granted, what Kojima or that company, what they did with Metal Gear Solid 5, the first one, that was terrible. Now again, that's not a pre-order bonus crap. That's them splitting the game in half and say buy this part right here, and then buy the other part later on. Not as a DLC, but as 2 separate quote unquote 4 games. Yeah, that's some BS right there. So so yeah, that's that. And again, I could go beyond that. Like, let's go back to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I'm looking at their pre-order bonus. You get the Darwin and Dickens conspiracy mission, a set of 2 missions involving Charles Darwin and Charles Dickens. And I'm like, neither one of them are the main character. So how is this half the story if you ain't playing the main character? And then another good example of this is Watch Dogs. When you reserve Watch Dogs, you get some extra outfits, but then they release a DLC that came with another story. Again, not involving the main character, so it don't involve the main story. So I don't see this whole proof of the whole, oh, they cut the game in half and they give you the first half as a quote unquote full game, and the other half you gotta get as a DLC where you have to pay. No, I don't see proof of that. I don't see proof of that. I actually looked this up. I didn't see proof of that. So that theory is completely bogus. Now, and another problem about the DLC, I mean not the DLC, but the pre-order fiasco is it's Larry. Like this whole, oh, you giving them your money early. I'm like, so I mean, okay, so here's my thing. You have a problem with yourself and people giving these game developers money before the game come out, but yet you have no problem giving them the money when the game actually does come out. Like, what sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? And they want to hate that. Oh, they want to say there's no refunds on reservations. I'm like, yeah, there is. It depends on where you go. Like, if you physically go into a store, GameStop, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, Sears, Toys R Us, whatever, I don't care less. As long as you have your receipt and follow their guidelines, you can always get your money back. I mean, that's not the issue. Online, that's different because that's digital. And I know for a fact, like, if you buy anything digital, there's no refunds on that. So, like Amazon or GameStop online. Well, GameStop online, you can take that to the store, whatever. But Amazon, especially the Xbox Live store, the PSN store, there's no refunds on that, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. If it is, I would be totally surprised. Otherwise, no. Now, Steam, they do offer refunds, so yeah, you can roll with them. But outside of Steam, online, I would not buy any games online unless I know I'm going to like it. So yeah, because there's no refunds with those. So yeah, there you go with that. So overall, I don't see the problem with pre-ordering a game. Again, you get to treat it like Larry, and if it's a game that you are planning or getting, and that you can't wait for it to come out because you saw the review, and that's another thing. So and then that's another argument that people use against it. oh, you don't know the game going to be good or not. Well, there's a thing called advanced reviews where people played the game already and they gave their reviews on the game before the game came out. So as long as you have your receipt and you watch the reviews, if the games you've been waiting for this whole time turns out to be awful, you can go in the store and say, "Nah, I heard this game gonna be trash. I want my money back, or move it to something else, or blah blah blah." I mean, it's not that hard. It's really not. So overall, I have no problem with ported games. Yeah, again, the whole if you pre-order the game, there'll be a copy waiting for you fiasco. That is now thrown out the window. The exclusive content BS, yeah, you gotta go from store to store to store to get all the pre-order bonuses. Yeah, that's kind of crappy. I'll get you, I'll give you that one. But most part, I have no problem with pre-ordering games, especially if it's games I want. And nowadays they're coming out with betas. So the Black Ops 3 beta. When you pre-order Halo, the Master Chief Collection, it came with a beta for Halo 5. Gears Ultimate Edition, it comes with a Gears 4 beta. Rainbow Six Siege beta. So a lot of these games when you pre-order, they come with a beta. Destiny came out with a beta. Street Fighter 5 came out with a beta. So you get to play the beta in advance. If you don't like the game based off the beta, guess what? You get canceled. Just ask Claymores. He reserved Destiny. He played the beta. He didn't like it. Now me, I had no problem with Destiny. I still play it to this day. And guess what? He got his money back. So I mean, it's not that hard. It's really not. I just think, excuse me. It's just your own perspective. Like if you want to get this game when it first comes out, and gonna come with some extra content, I don't see why not to reserve it. If you know that you can rate on the game, and not to mention live with the fact that people are going to spoil the game for you before you even get your hands on the game, just so you can get the game of the year content, so you can save some cash. I ain't gonna knock you for that either. But don't come with no BS like, oh, they split half the game 50-50. Oh, come up with any type of excuse to try to get people not to pre-order the game, to try to start up a revolution. Like, no, that's hypocritical, because you're still going to get the game. Like, if you have a problem with the pre-order bonuses and things like that, don't play video games. Don't play video games. And it's not like every video game in the world are like, quote unquote, split the game 50-50. You can't do that crap with sports. You can't do it with Madden. You can't do it with 2K16. You can't do it with Live. You can't do it with NHL 16. No, you can't do it with Rock Band 4 or Just Dance 4 or whatever. No, you can't do it with every game in existence. It's just those certain games like the Mass Effect, the Assassin's Creed, the Arkham series, the Metal Gear Solid and so forth, whatnot, where you can even use that theory, but again, there's no truth behind that theory of the whole split the game in half and release one half of it as a quote unquote full game. No, so stop with that whole revolution nonsense. This ain't the Diva Revolution. So just cut that crap out, man. Just cut it out. And as you can see, the game's been over. And yeah, I'm did okay. I think I went 17-12 playing with my boy Piccolo. But yeah, man, this is your boy Jim Ryder II saying peace out, y'all, and see y'all next time.